In less than a year, Karnataka will be going to elections. The Congress, which has been fighting dissent and leadership battle for long, is trying to put up a united front. And today was that day when Congress MP Rahul Gandhi was in the state to attend the birthday celebrations of former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The bash was quite something, and it seems that they came together under one banner. There was high praise in store for Mr. Siddaramaiah in particular, not just from the party's leadership like Rahul Gandhi, but also from the cadre that turned up in the thousands.
DK Shivakumar ji has done tremendous work for the Congress organization, and the Congress party is completely united to defeat the RSS BJP in Karnataka. And when we come to power in Karnataka, you will get a government that works for the interest of every person in Karnataka. I like the person Siddaramaiah ji, but I also share his views. I share his compassion for the poor and the weak. And I also appreciate the way Siddaramaiah ji ran the last government of Karnataka.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Mr. Kapil Madan and Sanju Verma continue with us, but I'm going to pose the first question to Brijesh Kalappa, advocate and somebody who has been an insider in the Congress. Does the BJP have a task on its hand, Brijesh Kalappa, considering that the leadership issues within the Congress, to the naked eye, seem more or less resolved? It's Mr. Siddaramaiah who will be the CM face.
No, Padmaja, I don't think the issue is resolved. I think this is, there is a long time before these issues are resolved. And essentially, as you realize, when tickets are actually distributed, when you realize if these the issues are resolved or they are still at large. And I think that's going to happen in maybe 3 to 4 months. And from what we know on the ground, each constituency has more than 2 to 3 aspirants, and each of them owing allegiance to one or the other. So therefore, I think the last word in this issue is yet to be spoken. And as far as today's outcome and the kind of response that Mr. Siddaramaiah's event got was, of course, very good. But there's still a long way to go, and still I think it can't be stated that either the BJP is going to gain or the Congress is going to gain. There's a long way to go.
So, Kapil Madan, is this like putting a band-aid on a cancer? There has long been a leadership struggle, and none of these two gentlemen made any secret of the fact. In fact, so much so that Mr. Shivakumar had gone out and appealed, saying, well, the Vokkaligas, they are a prominent community, they should make me Chief Minister, and today he had to stand on stage and clap when Mr. Siddaramaiah was being hailed. You're muted, sir.
Yes. So, Padmaja, I think you're going too far. And I think it's what you are saying, it's only a figment of your imagination. Of course, every person who is in politics aspire to become someone, and competition is something, it's good for the party, it's good for any organization. But as you're saying that there is some infighting, there is some sort of problem in the Karnataka Congress, I will just like to tell you about what is happened at Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, Shekhawat's people and Vasundhara Raje's people were fighting against each other.
Sir, we're talking about Rajasthan. Let's talk about Karnataka.
No.
We'll do a separate debate on Rajasthan. Then we'll do a separate one on Chhattisgarh also.
There is a reason. There is a reason.
T.S. Singh has quit his post. But let's stick to Karnataka.
There is a reason. Now, there is a reason why I am mentioning. We've seen in Gujarat 2 chief ministers have been changed. We saw Uttarakhand 3 chief ministers have been changed. Problem in Rajasthan, but you want to talk about what is happening in Karnataka. Karnataka, of course, yes, if there are 2 people contesting or competing for a post, of course, a party will take a conscious decision and nominate someone who the party thinks is the best suitable candidate.
Okay, the infighting is a figment of my imagination. Sanju Verma.
Okay. Padmaja, I think, we've been on umpteen debates on your channel, and I want to just say one thing. that when it comes to Congress, I think Congress is great at winning, vote share. But in politics, and to be in power, you have to know how to convert vote share into winnable seats. And I think that is what the Karnataka Assembly elections have time and again thrown up. You know, the biggest constituency in Karnataka, which is going to be the swing constituency this time, as per our homework, is the Kolar region, which is home to Dalits. Dalits account for 36 assembly seats. They account for 23% of the voting population. And tell me one thing that the Congress has done for Dalits, because Siddaramaiah, was in power before, Yediyurappa and then Basavaraj Bommai came in. Also, I want to tell you, the problem in Karnataka Congress is not the fight between Siddharamaiah and between DK Shivakumar, but the fight is between both of them trying to say Siddaramaiah represents the Kuruba community, DK Shivakumar represents the Vokaligas. Whereas the BJP is not saying that we are going to, fight on the back of Bommai being the, Karta Dharta of the Lingayat. We are not dividing the electoral population into Vokaligas, Kurubas or Lingayats or Dalits. You know, you might find
come on. For the longest time, you could not take any action against...
Padmaja, please indulge me for 10 seconds.
No, but just a second. To claim that you did not do caste politics in Karnataka is a little disingenuous. The reason that you took back Mr. Yediyurappa into the BJP was because you were scared that his vote is going to go away. And now you're saying, we do this inclusive, sabka saath, sabka vikas. Come on, Sanju Verma. Even you know that. After being expelled from the party, after forming the KJP, you took him back and now it's supposed to be sabka saath, sabka vikas. Just a second. Let me.
But you have rebutted me. You have to allow me 10 seconds. This is not done.
Okay, 10 seconds.
I am not saying, I have said this on your shows. Do caste matrices work? Does religion play a role? Does, Dalits and Adivasis, do they play a role in the electoral matrix? Anyone who says no is kidding himself. What I'm trying to say is that the Karnataka elections will not be fought on the basis of Kurubas versus Vokaligas or Vokaligas versus Lingayat. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas.
Right.
I remember you laughed at me when I said that before the Bihar election.
Okay, let me bring in Brijesh Kalappa again. Brijesh Kalappa, it's not like the BJP doesn't have its own share of problems. Mr. Yediyurappa made it very clear that he means business when he unilaterally announced that his son is now going to fight from Shikaripura, something that usually the party leadership does. Who has more problems right now? A fractured BJP or a fractured Congress?
See, as far as the BJP is concerned, their problems are also similar. One, they have a absolute serious charge, that is that 40% commissions are being sought for. One. Two is the fact that, the entire Hindutva brigade is up in arms against the BJP. So as far as the BJP is concerned, their own cadre is really essentially turned against them. Now, as far as the Congress party is concerned, Congress party, you'll realize that in Karnataka, whenever there are fissures between leaders in any political party, it's the opponents who always gain. So you'll find this during the 1994 elections, during the 99 elections, and earlier during the 89 elections. Every time the government or the party which is aspiring to come to office, whenever they have squabbled, they've always lost the mandate. And the Congress is facing that problem now.
Tehseen Poonawala. That is your problem. Just a second. This question was to the Congress. The problem is, Tehseen Poonawala, that you had people like Brijesh Kalappa who were there for the party for decades. And today they have left. That is the problem.
So, thank you so much for having me on the show, Padmaja, and since you made a personal comment about my dear friend Brijesh, whom I have a lot of respect, I completely concede to the point. He should have been in the Rajya Sabha. He served the Congress and the great state of Karnataka with a lot of pride, a lot of dignity. He's been very articulate a voice for the Congress. And I do agree and I do sympathize with him. And I have so much respect for both his political acumen and his analysis. He's somebody I've always called up to on Karnataka issues. But Padmaja, that's one part about it. And the second part to it, today's show of strength, 1.1 million people. SC, ST, OBC, Lingayat, Vokaligas, Muslims, Everybody wants a change. They're tired of 40% commission. CS get a discount, 30% is asked from CS, otherwise it's 40%. This is a government that has lost all moral hopes. The Congress is storming back into power. There is no rivalry, but I'll tell you one thing. Congress has abundance of talent. There's Siddaramaiah ji, there's DK Shivakumar ji, there's DK Hari Prasad ji, there is MB Patil ji, there is S Patil ji. The Congress has a plethora of talent.
Isn't that always your problem? Which is why after every election, Mr. Gandhi has to have that photograph. Sidhu and Channi, Tehseen Poonawala and Bhupesh Baghel. Isn't that your problem? There is so much talent and the talent doesn't like each other, Tehseen Poonawala. That is your Congress's problem.
But in this case, Mr. Gandhi has been proactive, and I can assure you that all differences between Mr. Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar that has been alleged has been sorted out, and there is nothing. Both of them have the highest respect and affection for each other.
Right, that is exactly what we were told in Rajasthan, in Punjab and in Chhattisgarh also. But anyway, we've already seen what happened in Punjab. Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, we are seeing what is happening. Sanju Verma.
Padmaja, you know, with no offense to Tehseen, I remember on your show, I was with him before the UP election results came out. He said, I bet my last penny Uttar Pradesh mein Congress वापस आएगी.
He did.
Yeah, 2 seats मिली हैं Tehseen, 2 seats. So, you know, I admire your guts to still, you know, be smirking there. But anyway, coming to the more serious point, I'm glad Padmaja remembers because she's got a good memory. You know, Padmaja, I just want to say one thing. You know, nobody takes this seriously. I just have this data in front of me. Last time, if you recall, we won 104 seats and the Congress won 80 seats. And I'm amazed to know that the difference in, you know, vote share was not much. We were at 36.35%, the Congress was at 38.14%. Congress actually had a higher vote share than the BJP in 2018 assembly elections. Yet, Congress won lower number of seats than the BJP. That is the point I'm making to Tehseen. Congress does not know how to convert vote share into seats. And that is where they lost in Uttarakhand. That is where they have been losing repeatedly. I'll just say one thing. We've done some internal homework, 10 seconds. In 2014, BJP's vote share in Karnataka was 43.4%, 2018, 36.4%, 2019, 53.8%. Padmaja, our internal homework says forget 53.8% that we got from Karnataka in Lok Sabha 2019. Even if we maintain our 2018 strike rate of 36.4%, we will be able to win 130, 130 out of the 224 seats.
Okay, Tehseen Poonawala.
No, but in 2018, the Congress faced anti-incumbency. Here, the BJP not only faces anti-incumbency, faces an incompetent chief minister who's been accused of taking 40%. But no, I'm coming. Sometimes on national, I'm coming to it. You don't have to heckle. I heard you very respectfully. Sometimes on national television, sometimes. Can I make my point?
Okay, finish your point. Yes.
Do it. I'll keep quiet, or I'll make my point. Sometimes on national television, it was the same times now when Mr. Amit Shah ji said that come what may, we are forming the government in West Bengal, we are crossing 150 in Gujarat. He told your colleague Navika ji, he didn't cross, he huffed and puffed to 99. Should Mr. Amit Shah ji also introspect? Look, in politics, you fight a battle, sometimes you lose. But at the end of the day, in Karnataka, the Congress got a highest vote share, this time they get higher vote share and seats.
Okay, anti-incumbency, change in chief minister, and the recent events where you've had its own cadre angry with the BJP, if not turned against the BJP, are concerns. Does that leave the room open, Brijesh Kalappa, for a third alternative like the Aam Aadmi Party, not to make the government, but at least to play spoiler? Always there is this thing of wherever the Congress is weakening, the Aam Aadmi Party comes in and grows like a mushroom.
No, I think, particularly after what has happened in Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party does seem to have some, I think, there does seem to be a large number of people who are actually speaking of the Aam Aadmi Party
in
as
Karnataka?
an option. And possibly Aam Aadmi Party also would, in Karnataka, particularly after what happened in Punjab. People are now speaking of the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's see what happens in Gujarat and then in Himachal Pradesh. I think that will show some direction as to how the Aam Aadmi Party will fare in future in Karnataka.
All right, it's an interesting day because largely we kept it a political debate and a largely civil and non-acrimonious debate. But the next 6 to 7 months are going to be very, very interesting. Karnataka has always been a very interesting state in the way it has voted, not just for the assembly, but also for the Lok Sabha. So thanks very much, all of you, for joining with your wisdom and insight. Thank you.